Straight sauce, no fluff. You know how we do, what to do if you're stuck at 10K. This is my boy Josh, one of my partners. He just smashed 10K. And here's exactly what we're going to do to make sure he doesn't get stuck here, which is exactly what happened to him before. So here's what happens, okay? Congratulations, right? Let's write a huge pretend it says congratulations. You just hit 10K, okay? And here's what happens. There's a dilemma that happens when you hit 10K, right? You have this oh shit moment, which is, oh shit, I hit 10K. Whoa, this is amazing. Like, I've been dreaming of this, but now you have a ton of clients to fulfill on, and you get scared that these clients are going to churn and refund. And so what you do is you say, oh my goodness, I need to make sure I keep these clients, otherwise I'm going to lose all my money. And so you stop all acquisition, right, to go all in on servicing your clients. Fair enough, you want to make sure they don't churn. And so you spend all your time focusing on these clients. And then one of two things will happen, okay? Path number one is you do a pretty good job, right? You get your clients pretty good results and maybe only one or two churn, and you go back to, like, let's say 7K a month, okay? Pretty solid, right? And then you get 7K a month and you're like, wait, I'm below 10K again and I have no appointments. I need to get back up to 10K. And so you go back to setting more appointments, okay? Path number two, right, which is honestly the more common path, is you spend all your time getting results for clients, but you just can't seem to figure it out fully, and over a long enough time frame, because you're not setting any appointments, all of a sudden you lose almost all your clients, and you're back to 1 or 2K per month. And I see this happen all the time. And I guess what happens? You're like, oh shoot, I need to set more appointments. I need to close more clients again. Okay? And so look at what happens. Whether you take path number one or path number two, you both end up at the same conclusion, which is you need to set more appointments. Okay, I was actually talking with one of my buddies today who just hit 10K, and for the past 2 weeks, he hasn't closed any more new clients. And when I asked him why, he's like, well, I'm focusing on delivery. I'm like, well, fair enough. You want to do right by your clients and get them results, but dude, you're just like, pretend this is a video game, right? And let's say that, this is a video game and you just hit level 5, right? For example, this is level 5, and level 5 is just going to be 10K a month, okay? You hit level 5, but what happens if you stop trying to progress, if you stop playing the game and stop trying to move up levels, you're inherently going to go down rank. And you're just going to start back to where you were before anyway. And so instead of letting this happen, you have to keep progressing. Now granted, you're going to switch your time allocation, right? Like if this is, your time scale, you're probably not going to do 50-50, right? And heck, you're probably not going to do 100, right? Or actually 100 and then 0%, right? 100% acquisition, 0% service delivery. You're probably not going to do this. But you have to allocate your time in a way where maybe it's 70-30, right? So 70% of your time goes to servicing your clients to make sure they don't churn. 30% of your time goes to acquiring more clients. Now, why do we do this? Well, once again, appointments and setting and closing, like literally appointments, is the lifeblood of your company. It is literally your heartbeat. It is literally the breath in your lungs. So let me ask you a question. Imagine right now you took a really big breath. Do it with me. Ready? You took a really big breath. Would you just stop breathing for the next 10 minutes? No, of course you wouldn't. You would keep breathing. Why? Because even though you took a really big and deep breath, you still need to keep breathing. Even though you took a big deep breath, you hit 10K, right? You still need to keep breathing. You still need to keep setting appointments, okay? You still need to keep closing clients. You still need to keep that oxygen coming in, because guess what? Eventually, if you keep holding your breath, guess what's going to happen? You're going to die. And so you can't do this forever. Right? Your business, like if you want to get to 20K, the only way to get there is by getting more clients. Right? You're not going to do it by just servicing your current clients. And so you have to make sure that you are continually still getting more clients. Now, granted, this is hard because a lot of people freak out and they're like, oh shit, I don't want people to churn. Right? And so they try and focus all their time here, which I understand. But you have to remember this. Right? You have to remember this. That no matter what path you go down, path 1 or path 2, you're going to end up at the same place, which is shit. I'm back below 10K, right? And I want to get back up to 10K. And in order to do that, I need to set more appointments. As simple as that, right? It doesn't get any more simple than that. That you understand you have to do that. And so instead of letting yourself go like this, up and then down to go back up again, realize that here, right, that you could go down, and when you go down, you're going to go back up. And so instead of letting yourself go down, aka going below 10K, keep pushing, keep scaling, keep booking those appointments, right? Keep closing new clients. And granted, this might mean that you may need to hire a closer, right? Or maybe even hire a media buyer or a CSM, or maybe, an appointment setter, right? Whatever the case is. Maybe you need to hire someone so you can get back a bit of your time, so you can focus it and allocate your time to where you find it's most effective. But the point is simply this: you can't sit here and just stay servicing your clients and put acquisition on the back burner, because what's going to happen, I've seen it way too many times, is you get to 10K, you're happy, and after a couple weeks or months, you lose a couple clients. By nature, they churn, right? And imagine if you don't lose any clients, right? And for 3 months, you get amazing results. After 3 months, you've just stagnated at 10K. You've went from this, like imagine this on a graph, right? So you've went from this to this, right? And if someone churns, you're going like this. So look at that. Do you really want your business to look like this, or would you rather it look like this? Now, granted, maybe it's not as exponential, right? Maybe it's more like this. But which business would you rather have? The business that keeps growing, maybe a bit slower, or the business that stagnates here? I know which one I would pick, and I know which one most people would pick, right? And that's this. But the only way you can do that is by understanding that you have to keep prioritizing setting appointments. You have to. Right? And granted, you're going to do this in moderation and in balance, right, with focusing on focusing on service delivery. But you have to understand that if you are not booking appointments, you will not make more money. And I know this sounds so simple. Most people understand this, but someone needs to tell them, aka me, right, for you to be like, oh, that's right. Like, most of you know this. Most of you fundamentally know that you're not just going to magically scale past 10K by not booking more appointments. But yet you still focus all your time on service delivery and wonder why you're stuck at 10K. This is why. And here's how to fix it, which is shift your time allocation back to what got you to 10K in the first place, right? Simple as that. And also, on a little side benefit, is the more clients you sign, right? When you sign more clients, okay, well, guess what happens? You now service more of them. And when you service more of them, you collect more data, right? You also get to test more things. And when you collect more data and test more things, guess what? You get better results for all your clients, because now you have way more data, way more things that you can test, and so you can know what's working, what's not working, and then apply that back to all of your clients. And so getting more clients will literally help you get better results. So if you're scared that, oh shoot, I'm not getting the best results, number one, you made 10K, use some of this money to go hire a CSM or a media buyer to help you out. Not take over, right? Granted, they can, if you feel comfortable, let them take over, but help out, right? So that you can get good results and retain the money, right? But also, when you sign more clients, you can pass someone off to them, and you start to collect more data, and you start to do more testing. And with this, you'll get even better results, right? Like the first time I played hockey, it wasn't that good. The third time, fourth time, fifth time, it wasn't that good. But after playing it 100 times, I was getting better. After 1,000 times, I was even better. The point is, the more you do something, the better you get at it, the more you start to know it, right? And so the more clients you sign on, the better you start to get. Let's say if you run a typical SMA, you do Facebook ads, the more you start to learn the ins and outs of, of pixels and UTM integrations and automations, right? And go level and all the Facebook campaign ad structures and all the fancy stuff that they have, like ABO testing and SWOT testing and all that kind of fun stuff, right? You start to learn all this stuff because you have more data and you get to test more things. So then you can bring that all back to your clients and get them better results. Once again, you can only do this by signing on more clients. So you can see a very common theme here, which is you need to continually sign on more clients. You don't run a business by going out there one time, signing a bunch of clients, and then just stopping. And then just cutting off your acquisition. That's not a business. Imagine if Hermosi hit 100 million, was great guys, we hit 100 million. Let's not get any more leads, screw sales. Let's only focus on the customers we have. Eventually, in theory, this business would go out, right? Because other businesses are going to shut down, other businesses are going to churn, they're going to find someone else, right? Maybe your service doesn't work anymore, whatever the case is. So eventually, you're going to go back down to zero, right? On a long enough time horizon. So you can't do this. You don't run a business. Right? Imagine if you go to Shark Tank and they say, great, so tell us about what you do. Yeah, so I run an SMA. I hit 10K. Great, what do you do for acquisition? Oh, we don't do it anymore. Why? Well, we're servicing our current clients. How are you expecting to grow? Oh, well, we'll do it later. Boo, they fucking kick you off the show. You'd be such an idiot. So don't do this in reality, okay? Do not cut off your acquisition. You need to love your acquisition. The acquisition is the lifeblood of your company. You need to keep this at its core. Okay, this is your main priority all the time, is acquisition. Granted, still love your customers. I think that's very clear. I love my customers, and I put a lot of my time into my customers. But at the same time, I'm making sure I'm bringing in new clients, because that, ultimately, guess what? If I don't bring in new clients, I don't have a business. If I don't have a business, guess what? I can't even serve my customers, right? Let's say, for example, you got to pay rent. If you don't have new clients coming in, you can't pay rent. If you can't pay rent, you got to go homeless. Well, you can't serve your customers when you're homeless. So guess what? You got to churn all your customers. So are you really helping them? Are you really helping your customers? No, you need to sign new clients. Okay. And fundamentally, for context on how to scale to 20K, let me just put this in here just in case someone's wondering. All right. So let's say you are at 10K. All right. Congrats. Woohoo. If you want to get to, let's just say 20, that's just the easiest next marker. It's literally this simple. Whatever you did to 10K, do that. Right. So do it. Do more of it and make it repeatable. Right? And so, for example, let's say if you cold call, but it was just you cold calling. Now, if you want to make it repeatable, you got to hire a team. Right? Let's say if you sent emails and you sent 500 a day, right? Ramp it up to 1,000 a day now. Right? Let's say if you did ads, okay, and you spend $100 a day, ramp it up to $200 a day. Like, in order to scale, just do more of what already worked. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Like, whatever you did to get to 10K is more than sufficient to get you 20K. You just have to find a way to do it repeatably, right? Very simple. And so this may mean that if you, with a bit more volume, right, you bring on like a closer, for example. Very simple, right? Very, very, very simple, okay? So real quick, if you are someone that is at 10K or even around 10K, like if you run an agency in general that makes money and you want help scaling to 10, 20, 30K a month, I will partner up with you and guarantee you hit that or your money back. Simple, best offer I could ever make. I read the book. You can't see it's down here, $100 million offers, and that's the offer I've made. So if you want to be like Josh went from, I don't know, what was it, like 2 or 3K? I think it was like 2K to 10K in exactly 54 days of working with me. If you want to be like Josh, book a call with me, and we can talk about how we can scale you. Okay? There you go. That's how to make money. Hope this helped you out and can rewire your brain a little bit to make sure that you don't get stuck at 10K, which most people do, because I would hate to see that happen to someone else. Adios. Peace.